So a few days ago, Reform UK announced that if they were to come into power, they would repeal the Equal Rights Act of 2010. This message was ironically delivered by Suella Braverman, a woman of Asian Indian descent, and met to a crowd clapping at the potential dissolution of equal rights. Even if you're not interested in politics or you think it doesn't affect you, I think people need to understand how potentially dangerous it will be if Reform UK and Farage come into power.
I'm the bottomless pit. My head.
Kemi Badenoch's Conservative Party wants to deport legally settled people from the United Kingdom. They want to strip them of their indefinite leave to remain, the ILR, which is the UK equivalent to the US green card. It grants permanent residence status. It's a pathway to citizenship. So for people who've worked here, studied here, paid taxes, and they've literally just lived their lives more or less like British citizens, they are looking to strip them of their legal status. Do you know how wicked you have to be to do that to people? And not just to strip them of these rights going forward, they want to do it retrospectively. This blackface or white supremacy isn't targeting white people who are legally settled here. No, this is a racially motivated policy that is targeting black and brown ethnic minorities. It's a rinse and repeat of what they've been doing to the Windrush generation and their families. I am livid. How dare these politicians treat our lives and livelihoods like political football because they want to out-reform the Reform Party under Nigel Farage. Keir Starmer is the same. His Labour Party is overfilled with anti-immigration rhetoric that is rooted in racism and division. Kemi Badenoch is calling for Trump-style mass deportation. She wants British-type ICE agents on our streets, attacking, assaulting, violating the legal and human rights of people who are legally settled here. Now, it's not written on my forehead that I am British by birth. It is not written on my forehead whether or not I got indefinite leave to remain. So someone like me could be pulled off the street simply because of the color of my skin. They would attack, assault, terrorize, and ask questions later. She wants to emulate the violation of human and legal rights that Trump is committing in the United States. See how wicked these people are. They're saying that people who came to this country legally shouldn't have been able to do so. They're speaking to people at all levels of professional capacity, high skilled, low skilled. They're speaking to people who are critical to the NHS infrastructure. They're saying, we want you gone, because the white British political illiterate class is affronted by your presence and contribution to this country. The ungrateful bigots. They want to strip ILR from people who receive benefits. All of our taxes goes towards putting benefits in the pockets of white British people. So you're telling me black and brown people with ILR who've been paying taxes, who fall down their luck and maybe they're sick or become briefly unemployed, can't claim benefits. And you want to penalize them retrospectively for claiming benefits when it wasn't illegal to do so. You want to penalize them for committing a crime. Don't British people commit crimes? You want to penalize them for having income that falls below 38,700. Don't white British people earn less? What is this double standard bullshit? Over 200,000 Ukrainians who never worked or paid taxes in this country were given leave to remain, public funds, public benefits, all because they're white. If I speak.
So I'm going to explain a bit about what the Equality Act actually does and what would happen if we get rid of it. So the Equality Act of 2010 protects people from discrimination and harm in the workplace. And no, this isn't just about race, it's also about gender, it's about sexual orientation, and it's about the religion that you are. Essentially, this act makes it illegal to treat people unfairly because of these protected characteristics. And you may be asking yourself, why would anybody want to get rid of this act that simply says people have to be treated equally? To me, statements like this made by Reform UK are just dog whistles to racists all over the country, and to people who are admiring the way that Trump is treating US citizens, I want to remake that same brand of fascism over here. I can't understand why you'd want to actively take away a law that makes it illegal to treat people unfairly because of things that they can't change. But I do think it's important for people to be aware of what could potentially happen if Reform UK get into power.
I still remember the day I received my indefinite leave to remain in the UK. It was just 21 days ago. 21 days. I read that email and felt relief, pride, and a sense of belonging that finally the system recognised that I'm part of this country, that I've built my life here and that I contribute and that I belong. And now I hear that Reform UK wants to scrap indefinite leave to remain entirely.
How long? Won't you hear me sing? Won't you? Freedom song, won't you?
When I read those headlines, my stomach dropped. How can something that was just given to me, but represents security and stability, be threatened so soon? 21 days. That's how long my happiness lasted before politics decided it needs to weigh in. I've lived my life contributing to British society. I pay my taxes, I work hard, and most importantly, I've never claimed benefits. It hurts to think that in the public discourse, people like me are painted as a burden to the UK taxpayer. That in the echo chambers online, the narrative is twisted. Immigrants, foreign workers, and others are taking away from ordinary people. And then there's those who say, oh, he just wants you to renew it every 5 years. Do you know how much it costs? I'll tell you, nearly £7,000. That's the combined total of the application fee and the £5,000 immigration health surcharge for a 5-year period.
We forward in this generation, triumphantly. Won't you hear me sing these songs of freedom? It's all I ever had. Redemption songs. Redemption.